the latest of a long line of contract questions. Going into this game, we always ask it from your perspective. Is there any significance or importance to wrapping something like this up from a team aspect going into a season where you don't have that hanging over, not just you, but everyone week in and week out?
It's a great question. Maybe from a team aspect, yeah. I've always talked about how present I can be, but understanding not everybody is capable of that, to be honest with you. There could definitely be some benefit in that. But at the end of the day, it's a lot that entails in moving parts in the contract, and those guys, I know both sides are working, and yeah.
Are they working to get it done before the weekend?
I would say that they're working. I don't know if that's necessarily the timeline. I can't say, oh, hell, I've put a timeline on to Todd and Steven if we don't get this done, this or that, but I know they're working.
But they are working toward getting one done.
Yeah, they're working.
Would you be okay if, say, we're in week 2 and it's still working, that kind of thing?
I'm going to still be working. So it's the only thing that matters to me.
How are you able to compartmentalize in a situation like this?
I've never played the game for that. I play the game for the pure love for the guys in that locker room. Yes, this game has always brought me something that not a lot of things in life do. That's the type of peace that it does, is being out there in between the lines with people that you share a brotherhood, with. It's something that's just special about this game of football, and we're just blessed that money comes with it, and I'm in the position that I'm in, that we can be having these conversations, but that doesn't motivate me.
Last week you said it would say a lot about how people feel if it didn't get done. Now that we're only a few days away from week 1, what would that feeling be if it doesn't get done by Sunday?
People change their feelings daily. Can't say I have the same feelings I had last week.
Do you think about the uncertainty, future this and that, but also just the fact that you grew up, rooting for this team, loving this team. How important is it to you, the opportunity to be the quarterback that ends this drought?
That's what motivates me on being here, honestly, is to be the quarterback that does it, that wins it. I don't think that winning at any other place would be the same as winning it here. And so that is number one and one to be here, to be honest with you.
What are some of the bigger challenges of the Browns defense? Obviously, they're one of the top defenses in the league, but just in breaking them down film-wise in your meetings, what are some of the things that stand out?
Yeah, I mean, they got an elite player on every level, whether it be Myles Garrett, obviously up front, Jock, don't know how to say his last name, the linebacker, and then obviously Ward in the back end, and Del Pitt, a lot of guys. So when you've got an elite guy on every level, that obviously is the strength. And then having played Schwartz earlier in my career, understanding what he wants to do, and watching their tape last year, they're very physical, they're fast, they know how to play to their strengths, and they're a great matchup for us, and I'm excited for us to kick off the year over there at their place.
One more thing on the contract, real quick. Why are you feeling different this week than it was last week?
I don't have any feelings toward it this week. I'm focused on the Browns, and simple as that.
Okay.
You mentioned the locker room. There's some guys that back you in very strong terms with some of the words they choose to support you. You walked into this locker room 8 years ago with that ability to build relationships, it seemed like, from us, from the outside. Was that true back then, and how has that relationship building, you think, been important for you?
Yeah, it's everything. You've got to, when you play this game, such a physical game, a team game with people that you love and that you pour into, and it's vice versa, it makes showing up every day, I don't even want to say easier, but better. You're excited. You want to come in this locker room. You want to push guys to be better. You want to get to know and help them on and off the field in every which way that you can, and you become more than employees with each other, or co-workers with each other, rather than true brothers and family. And I've built some amazing relationships with teammates over these 9 years, and I'm blessed. I'm blessed with so many of those guys in there. I know we're talking about, or maybe multiple guys, but obviously I've seen what Cook said, and I've mentioned time and time again, that's one of the best men that I've ever played with. Obviously one of the best football players. You've looked at his resume and what he's done, but one of the best men, and that's a guy, he's an epitome of what I mean by somebody that just, the way that they carry themselves, the way that they approach life, push you to be your best each and every day. And there's been so many of those guys, and I'm fortunate to be the quarterback, being able to connect with so many different people at this position, and something I don't take for granted. any means.
Speaking of your connection, how is it with CeeDee Lamb and his ramp up, and how do you feel like he'll be in terms of readiness for Sunday?
Fresh Chase. Yeah, he'll be just fine. We've had 2 weeks now, getting him back in. Obviously, he was in shape, but just on the field, defenders on your back, or trying to catch in the tight windows. He's ready. I mean, it's an elite player. Just turn on the film from last year, and you'll see that he's gotten better. So right now, it's just about going out there and showing it for the both of us.
When you look at what you and him were able to do last year, he led the league in yards after catch, also had the most targets. How do you balance wanting to feed that guy the ball as much as possible while elevating the other receivers?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what the other receivers have done in that time off is they've created that balance. They allow me to go out there, go through my reads, and obviously then the coaches will put the guys in the position, whether they're one, they're two, throughout my reads. But I think that's also something that was crucial in the time that he was gone is being for those young guys to be able to step up, create more of a rapport with me, to understand where I'm trying to throw the ball, our breaking points, the windows I want, and just understanding our timing. That's helped everybody. And so now that CeeDee's back, it's really just bonus that we're all on the same page that we are, and then you have an elite player like that to add to the mix.
So much on the line, obviously we've talked about your contract, Mike's contract, so many players on one-year deals. The beginning of the season seemed different than past years. It seemed more on the line for everybody, this team, this franchise.
Yeah, perhaps. As you just said it, right? Everybody, I think if you look, we all look personally into last year of our deal, it's going to create a little bit of that. But then when you look to the left or right, and there's so many people in that situation, I think it makes it a little bit easier to lock in and wrap those arms around each other and say, this is on us to change that, to make a difference, to be here next year, and also just going into year 9. All my past experiences, all of that plays into the hand of making me, this team better, and making that feel different, I guess you could say.
You mentioned Cooks from a personal standpoint, but when you guys are on the field, y'all have had another year together. You spent time up there with him.
Yep.
There are going to be opportunities. You guys know that they're going to look at CeeDee and try and take him away. Can you see a little bit higher level of opportunity between you and him this season? Yeah,
for sure. You just said, especially going into the season, knowing that teams are going to take away 88. That's just or try to take away 88 as they should. And so when that, you need these other guys to step up, and Cooks being the veteran, being the guy whose resume out of those others stands alone. You know he has the production. You know he has the in-game production against different opponents with different quarterbacks. So for me, it's about making sure that our rapport, as I said, is invincible. So we understand what we both want to do. I can anticipate more with the guy. He understands when I'm throwing the ball in and out of routes, and I could definitely. We all can expect a little bit more out of him.
How's your comfort level with BB right now, especially a rookie center, and you guys got to make the calls together, that kind of thing?
Great, very, very comfortable. I think it goes back in when the coaches made the change. I told him, hey, get up there, make a confident point, be confident in what you're seeing, and then if I want to change it, I'll just do it. I'll just do that, and so don't be hesitant. Understand that you have the talent, you've got the makeup to do this, and for me, it's just about pouring the confidence I have into him, to making sure that he knows he's got not only me but a locker room and guys who support him and know that he can go do the best and get his job done.
Is there something special you noticed about his mental makeup?
For sure.
That'll allow him to make that jump?
Yeah, guy loves football, always focused. His demeanor doesn't change. Good play, bad play, he's on to the next, and that's something that I love, that I myself do. So when you see that, that's contagious. And when you're the center of that O-line, sure, I make calls and all that, but he's the one talking directly to the guards and making sure that gets passed out to the tackles and tight ends. And so it's definitely contagious. He has definitely a great demeanor about him that he'll be a hell of a player for a long time as long as he wants in this league.
Well, Cooper said earlier this week that he's confident in making those calls, but he knows that you can clean it up. Is that common for a veteran quarterback to do that for a rookie, and does that necessitate you maybe wanting the calls even earlier from the sideline in case you need a little extra time?
I think we've got a great pace just in the way that we play this game, the way that Mike calls it, the way that we've been practicing. So the pace is going to take care of itself. And, as a veteran quarterback, it's on me. When I was a rookie, I had a veteran center who did it all for me. So I think it's just right roles have switched. And so for me, it's about, as I said, pouring my confidence into him that, hey, you know what you're seeing. Go up there and make the call. And if I see something I want to get to outside of that, just make the adjustments from there when I make the call, and we're good to go. And so the communication's been outstanding with him.
The
Mike-
receivers,
Mike-
a bunch of your receivers have talked about throwing with you in the offseason and the work you guys have been able to get in. And it was kind of a big deal when you got that field in your backyard. But now looking back on it with all the work that you guys have gotten, do you think you've gotten the return on investment for that?
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that you've set a trend maybe for franchise quarterbacks to do that across the league?
If they're smart. But then again, there's been days here, whether it's the summer or not, it was hot, and I've had to use a couple of high schools. So fortunate to those guys as well. So maybe I can put a bubble on it, you know, if this new contract comes
You say,
around.
there you go. You tell us something.
What should people expect from Zeke?
What should people expect from Zeke? Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've talked about just the ultimate team player he is. Obviously, you probably won't see the amount of carries he had once he was a Cowboy, but you're going to see a guy who's productive in everything that we ask him to do, whether it's running the ball, whether it's the pass protection. Truly selfless player who wants to do anything and everything for his teammates, and it's going to show in just his aggressive and his physicalness throughout the game.
Has he come back with the same personality he had before?
As in fun, or?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. That's Zeke. Zeke's not going to change, and it was great to just get him back refreshing. But as I've always said, he can be fun, but the moment it's time to lock in inside those lines, nobody's better at that.
Mike announced a theme for the season, Rudy. Can you just talk about your impression of that and what you
Thought it was amazing. I thought it was amazing. A guy that talks about being present where my feet are. It goes to my roots. It goes to my mom. Goes to my brothers. It goes to it's why I love this game. This game is rooted in me. Thinking about the days in the trailer park, playing in the field behind the house with my brothers, being the youngest of the group. That's why the joy for this game is so big, because that's where I fell in love with it. It's those guys that I think about, my brothers, the love that my mom put into this game for not just me but my brothers as well. And and then as Mike referenced it, right, the first 5 years, the roots are growing, the roots are getting strong, but you don't necessarily see what comes out of the ground until it's time. And he was talking about the Chinese bamboo, and so just understand when you're doing everything right, you're putting in the work in that you need to, you'll reap the rewards when it's time.
We talked about Cooper Beebe.
Thank you.